So dude, I wasn't planning on doing any sponsored videos anytime soon, but I got an email from Donner and it gave me a really cool idea. They've actually been really good to me, dude. They're super nice people and they were the first company to ever sponsor the channel. So I thought I could use this opportunity to pay it forward a little bit. They sent over their DST-550 to review, which is their take on the modern S-Type formula. And I want to give it to a beginner guitar player or just someone who really needs a new guitar who's watching this video. So thank you, Donner, for sponsoring this video and giving me the opportunity to do that. I really appreciate it. Stick around because I'll be explaining how one of you guys can get your hands on this later on, but can I just say, beginners have got it so good right now. When I started playing guitar, a guitar like this at this price, not likely, dude. But what is it that makes this a really good budget option for beginner players? Starting with the build quality, for a budget guitar, man, this thing is really fucking good. It feels solid, there's no creaks, no weird finish flaws. It's just a really well put together instrument and it's absolutely going to handle all the rigors of practicing with your first band and playing gigs and that sort of thing. It's made in China, as you probably expected at this price point, and historically, Chinese guitars have not always had the best reputation overseas, but honestly, man, that really shouldn't be a thing anymore. I mean, even Jackson are making guitars in China now and they're selling for big money, and that's because they play fucking great and they're really well made. Anyway, you're looking at a poplar body with a roasted maple neck and board, 22 medium frets and the normal Strat scale length. Hardware wise, you've got lock-in tuners, a 2-point tremolo and an HSS pickup configuration, which is the best pickup configuration for a Strat. And I've got to say, obviously, it's not the highest quality hardware in the world, but when you're paying south of 300 quid, way south of 300 quid most of the time, you're not gonna expect the world's best hardware on a guitar like this. All you need is for it to be serviceable and just keep the guitar in tune and playing well, and this does that. The DST-550 comes in 3 different colours. So obviously this one's the vintage white with all the gold stuff, but then there's a blue, and then there's Caribbean shoreline gradation. So white, blue, and then I've got to say the Caribbean one is my favourite finish for this guitar, but the white one's pretty cool. I like the vintage thing it's got going on. Out of the box, and then I guess out of the bag, because this does come with a bag, which is cool. I mean, obviously it's not the most expensive thing in the world, but it is waterproof and it's going to get you to your guitar lessons all right. The setup was pretty decent, man, definitely playable, but the frets did need a little bit of attention. They're not really polished at all, so when I was giving the guitar a setup and I got the strings off, I gave the frets a good polish up with the Dunlop polishing cloths and it has made them a fair bit better. They still need to play in a little bit, and that's not uncommon with cheap guitars, but it is something to be aware of. However, they are pretty well finished on the edges for a guitar at this price, which you love to see. One thing though is that these frets are medium, and like, my preference is jumbo, and I think jumbo is always going to be better for new guitar players. That might be absolutely fine for some of you, but I had to remedy it by absolutely squeezing as low an action as I possibly could out of the setup. Once it was set up to my taste though, dude, it just became a different beast entirely. It's just much more playable now and it feels so much quicker. Definitely quicker than you'd expect a guitar at this price point to play. And most guitars need a good first setup anyway, because that's what's really going to let the quality of the materials and the build on this thing shine through. The core idea of what Donner want this guitar to be is all there and it's all executed super well. It just needs a little bit of TLC when you get it to make it as good as it can be. But how does it feel to play? I mean, it's a Strat, innit? If you've ever played one, then you're going to have a good idea of what this guitar feels like. The body shape, the balance, the comfort, it's all there. The body though, it's actually quite a lot boxier than you'd see on the Fender counterparts, and I really do like that a lot. It gives this guitar a bit more of a modern feel, and I think if anything, it shows that what Donner are trying to do is make something that's more like the Ibanez AZ than anything that Fender makes. The neck on this guitar sets it apart too, because it feels a bit more modern than you'd expect on a guitar like this. It's slimmer and smoother thanks to the satin finish, and it's very comfortable and really quick under the fingers. Getting a low action, like I mentioned earlier, helps to offset having medium frets, and the contoured body makes this a much better experience to play than you'd get on normal Strat. It's like super refreshing, dude, to see smaller companies putting more thought into the shaping of their guitars' bodies, because, I mean, if you're CNCing these things, then you might as well, hadn't you? There's nothing to lose in making your guitar fit the guitar player's body a little bit better, and all it does is just enhance the playing experience for anyone who might want to pick one of these up. The trem also came floating, which is cool, but I locked that shit down immediately. Mostly so that I could bring the action down as far as possible, but also I feel like it's always best to lock the trems down on budget guitars to get the best tuning stability you can out of them. I did give the trem a little wiggle when I first got it out of the box, and it sounds all right, but I think if you're planning on using a 2-point trem on a guitar at this price range, then you really want to get ready to lube your nut up, to lube your nut up, to lube your nut up, to lube your nut up. Oh, and make sure your setup is spot on as well. Yeah. I like it, dude. It's easy to play, it's comfortable, and it's surprisingly versatile once you've got it set up right. But what does it sound like? Sound-wise, it's pretty much exactly what you'd want from an HSS Strat. Clean and clear single coils in the neck and middle, and a chunky humbucker in the bridge for when you need a bit more growl. Now, Donner have added something interesting to this guitar, which they're calling their 7-tone selection system. Really, it's just a coil split, but it's on this little switch here, which I actually think is a really good idea. Truth be told, I barely use most split coils because push-pull pots are absolute arse, dude. I hate how awkward they feel and switching between them while you're actually trying to play through something. So having a little switch like this that you can set and forget is just a much more efficient way to do the same thing. And the Donner Thunderforge pickups that these things come loaded with are pretty good, dude. The name of the pickups is lame and like the vibe is completely off, but the actual units themselves are great. Punchy, super capable, and I mean, you've just heard them in the demo, so you can make your own mind up on them, but I do like them. I feel like it's the biggest feature on this guitar that turns it into a real competitor to like the modern S-type scene without spending a whole bunch of money like you would on an AZ or something like that. And I know the AZS exists at like 500 quid, but even then, that can still be pretty expensive for a lot of new players. And while we're on the subject, first of all, if you got this far in the video, thank you, but if you're a beginner player who's stuck playing a shitty guitar, or someone who's looking at getting their very first guitar, then I want to give this guitar to one of you. I'm super fortunate that I do not need this guitar. It was my payment for this video, but I feel like you guys have given me so much more than that by watching the channel and giving me a platform. So I want to give this guitar to someone who really needs it and they can progress their guitar journey as just a little way of paying it back and saying thank you. All you need to do is just comment below letting me know how long you've been playing guitar and what guitar you're currently playing. And don't worry if you've not actually started yet. Just put something down there saying that you haven't started playing guitar and you really want to learn. This isn't about growing the channel. You don't need to subscribe or like or anything like that. This is just about me having the opportunity to actually give a little bit of something back to one of you guys who watch us. In a month or so, I'll choose one of the comments below and I'll reply to it saying something along the lines of, congratulations, I'm giving you this guitar, just so it's super clear. So keep an eye out for that and let's get back to this. So in terms of tones, you can get pretty much everything you would need out of this thing, with the added advantage of a single coil in the neck position, which is the super stratty thing and it's what they were built for. It's a great sounding guitar. So look, if you're just getting started with guitar and you don't want to break the bank with your first instrument, this is a solid option from Donner. It's affordable, well built, it plays great with just a little bit of TLC and setup at the beginning, and you can grow with this guitar. It's good enough that you're not going to outgrow this thing in 6 months like most other beginner guitars. Donner have done a great job with this guitar. It's not perfect, but I mean, obviously it's not going to be at the price point, but it's really, really capable for how much you're paying. It's a proper guitar that doesn't feel like a toy, and that's what beginners need. If you want to grab one for yourself, you can use the links below and use code JackTaylor, all one word, for up to 15% off your order. So if you're a new guitar player who wants to keep progressing, then check out this video next, where I talk about fixing one of the biggest problems that all new guitar players have. Thanks for watching, mate, and thanks to Donner for sponsoring. Keep playing. I'll catch you in the next one.